yesterday. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
That's all
All
right.
right.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, good. Welcome everybody. Let's see, we got who else has joined in here? Mike, Ron, Patty. Hello, hello, hello. Let's go ahead and kick this thing off. It is 4:02 on well, for some of us it's Wednesday, beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Karen, it's Thursday morning, I think, for you, right? Um, but let's start with who's got a win? Who wants to share a win? Anybody?
I started Monica started me on the sugar free, and then this week's the gluten free. And having
Okay.
heard about it on one of the podcasts on the Monday podcast last week, because I missed the original one. The sugar free, you're right, was so hard because all the protein powders and everything we have, which is the only way I get anywhere near my protein, that sort
Yeah.
of thing, are all got it in it. And that's really hard. Gluten this week's been much easier because yes, I used to be a was trying to all for years have tried the keto, cut out grains and everything anyway. So gluten free was has been easy. But obviously I wasn't cutting them out because I do feel so much better without it. I've been
Mm,
really strict on it and I feel so much better. It's
yeah.
amazing. So it's definitely going to stay gone
Yeah.
as much as
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that self-experimentation and that
It
elimination diet, especially the gluten and
yeah.
dairy are the two big ones,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it
Mm.
seems.
And it
Yeah.
seems like we always have somebody when we go on some kind of a like Kim was saying, self-experimentation. When we cut out gluten or dairy, there's always somebody who goes, "Oh my
Oh my
gosh, I
goodness. Yeah.
feel so
Mm.
much better without
Yeah,
the this,"
yeah.
and they just never knew that they were sensitive to it. It's not that you have an allergy to it; it's just your
No.
body has a hard time breaking it down and digesting it.
Mm. Mm. Well, I did
Yeah.
paleo years ago, a few years ago, and I know at that time was actually when I felt my best, as so far as clear-headed and I felt best in myself. But then, of course, yeah, just kids and life, and you're just easier and it's hard. I moved out to the country where my nearest grocery shop's an hour and a half away.
Oh my.
Um,
Wow, that is
so
in the country.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so you can't just pop down when you run out of something. So it's you sort of and with kids you sort of changed the eating. So you slipped out of the paleo because it was hard for us
Hmm.
to find things. And we don't have all the great stuff that you guys do in America. Half the stuff that you talk about, it's like, oh, will they ship here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Paleo is
Um,
pretty restrictive. I think you'll find
It
just
is.
just a gluten-free diet. I mean, I know you're really trying to experiment with the Good Energy Challenge, which is what we did,
Mm,
what, back in September.
mm,
And it's always good to experiment with things like that.
mm,
But once you're beyond it and you're just trying to stay with a gluten-free diet, yes, there are replacement foods that you can get, but I think it's fairly easy just to find other foods to eat instead of
mm.
gluten-containing foods.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I'm going to aim at for sure. And just in just 5 days, it makes me feel so much better. So I'm definitely that win. That's my big win.
Good. Yeah, I love it. I love to hear it. Absolutely. I know. Did I share with this group that I did some blood work and my blood lipids came back a little out of reference range. So it's been a little over a year since I did my blood work. I've always had my total cholesterol has always been towards the upper end of the reference range, and my LDL, which is the quote unquote bad cholesterol's always been, at least at the top third of that reference range. Both those numbers were actually just outside of reference range on the high side of this diet. So a little bit of a wake up call for me. And I have, Monica, you'll love this. I have been very, very diligent about eating my vegetables. I don't like vegetables. Left to my own devices, I would eat only meat, eggs, and some fruit, probably. That's what I would subsist on. So I have made a very conscious effort to the delight of my wife, whose her favorite food in the world is vegetables, to really start trying to get more vegetables into my diet. I was eating, I have my own chickens, so a very typical breakfast for me would have been like 8 eggs and a piece of fruit. So now I'm having 4 eggs once or twice a week. So I'm kind of way back on my eggs, which makes me a little sad. But I have replaced that with I have this protein oatmeal that I make. So I just make a double portion I have some good organic sprouted oats that I use. In there will always be some protein powder, some blueberries, a full cup of blueberries, a couple tablespoons of pumpkin seeds, a couple tablespoons of chia seeds. So a good, healthy, and I put some milk in there as well. So I've been eating that like 5 or 6 mornings in a row in a week. So that's a win for me. Trying to get those cholesterol numbers back into reference range. I'm not too worried about them being outside of reference range, but it's hard to say, hey, I'm a nutrition expert and nutrition coach and have numbers be in, the red numbers show up on your blood lipid panel. Um, Now, that being said, every other one of my numbers is optimal. So, and that's usually been the case. Typically, I'll get my blood work, and the doctor will look at it and say, your total cholesterol or maybe your LDL cholesterol looks a little high. But then he looks at the rest of me and goes, well, I guess just keep doing what you're doing. So I've been just keeping what I'm doing with, except year over year, I think I'm eating more meat and eggs and more meat and eggs. So I'm trying to cut back a little bit or replace, I guess, some of the meat and eggs with some veggies. Not my favorite thing in the world, but last night my wife made me this very, very delicious, took a giant spaghetti squash, cut it in half, and filled the inside with some ground turkey and a bunch of veggies and some marinara. So I had that, just all sliced up. That was really good. Monica, you sent me your easy veggie in a minute type recipes. I have not made any of those, to be honest with you, but I have eaten a bunch of carrot sticks and celery sticks because that's easy for me. So those of you that don't know, I don't really cook. I cook meat. Go figure. So I feed myself for breakfast, first breakfast, second breakfast, lunch, and snack. My wife feeds me dinner. So I get one really good meal in the evening, but the rest of my stuff is usually pretty basic. So yeah, I've been working on eating more veggies. So that's a win for me. Something new. Who else has got a win?
Well,
Just have
I'll,
a,
I'll oh,
oh,
go ahead.
sorry. I just have a simple win of getting back into it. I've been buried under work and some travel and some other personal responsibilities and everything, and kind of goes out the window for a period of time every time I get really slammed. But I'm getting back into it and I'm happy about that and I'm feeling good about that. So to me,
Yeah.
that's a win. I'm taking it.
Yeah, love it. Yeah. And I think it's important for us to recognize wins, even small wins. And look, life's gonna be life, right? It's gonna do what it's gonna do. There's gonna be times we get pulled away, but I love the idea about being intentional about thinking about our wins, whether they're big or small, because I think a lot of times our self-talk, a lot of it's negative, right? So we tend to be hard on ourselves when we don't do something we should do or perceive we should do. But I don't know that we give not all of us give equal time to complimenting ourselves, patting ourselves on the back. And I think we should do more of that. Let's see, Ron, I think you had something, and Bob, I see your hand up as well. Ron, what you got?
Yeah, so I'm about 100 or so pages into your barbell book, the
Uh-huh.
new
Yeah.
recommended book,
Yeah.
and whew, that
Yeah,
is
right.
detailed.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about how we digest food and how we age. Um, and I also just got back. I bought a bunch of new barbells off of Facebook.
You
So
did. All right.
yes,
Yeah. We love
so
that. Yeah.
I was
Good.
getting I was loving your workouts, but my weights were too getting to be too light. They were starting to feel too light. So I'm ready to step it up.
Love it.
Have
Absolutely
that
love it.
problem a lot that people have to buy heavier weights because
Yes.
they outgrow their equipment that they
Yes.
have quickly.
Yes. We like that problem. That's a good
Good
problem to
problem
have.
to have.
Yeah. Bob, what you got?
Well, mine isn't a win, but it's kind of a little bit what Chris said. Um, I'm in the cut phase. So last night, as I was finishing my dinner and recording everything I was eating, I kind of, first time since I started recording when we started this, really looked at what I ate. And it was a head scratcher that slice of pizza that I had for lunch when I was running around threw me for a loop when I saw the calories and what it did to my day.
Yeah. Yeah. A slice
Oh,
of
yeah.
pizza, especially if it's like, say, the deep dish, some of these more obnoxious kind of pizza creations can certainly, that's the thing with that's part of the quote unquote problem with highly processed food. It's very, very highly satiated. It's delicious, right? And it's very calorie dense, typically, right? Yeah, and pizza certainly would fit that that description of being calorie dense. Yeah.
Not nutrient dense. There's
And
a
not well, and not so nutrient dense, right? I don't know, Monica, if I put veggies on my pizza, does that count as getting a serving of veggies or
it
no?
certainly helps it.
It doesn't hurt, right?
It doesn't
Yeah.
hurt. And
Yeah.
maybe have a salad on the side and have a
Salad on
small
the
slice
side.
of pizza.
Oh, so
And put
yeah,
some chicken on your salad to up the protein for the meal.
that's how it's done. That is how it's done. Yeah. But then again, I mean, there has to be space in our lives for a slice of pizza occasionally, right? I think you would agree, 100%.
I had pizza this weekend.
There you go. And
I
ice
made
cream,
it,
whatever
though.
those things. Yeah, Patty's raising her hand. Yeah, good for you. Oh, you made it? Of course you
Oh
did.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
homemade. Even the dough. I make
Yeah.
my own pizza dough. I
Yeah.
put my own toppings on, and yes, I
Cool.
put plenty of vegetables on there.
I'm sure
Yes,
you
we do
did.
have a big salad on the side.
Yeah, good for you. All right, good. Let's see. Who else? Anybody? Patty, hit me.
I have a big win for me.
Okay.
I've also been getting through the barbell prescription because I hadn't finished it, so I've been getting through. And so I don't know if I'm calling this the right thing, but in the gym where there's the leg press, you lay
Mhm.
back and you
Mhm.
press up. Okay. I can now leg press my weight,
Good for
which
you.
is my goal. But I tell you, when I started, Monica, when I started doing that, I could only press 45 pounds when I started
Wow.
that. I actually remember before I started with Silver Edge, going to the gym. This is so funny. And I had to ask the gym owner, this is how weak I was. I had to ask the gym owner to help me with the 45-pound weight to put it on the leg press.
Oh,
I was
gotcha.
like,
Yeah.
Keith, I can't lift this. And he's like, yes, you can, buddy. And I'm like, I was afraid I was going to drop it on my toe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I can now leg press because am I calling it the right thing?
You are
You
calling
leg
it the right thing. Yes, a
Yeah,
leg press. Yep.
Yep, I can leg press my weight.
That's
Fantastic.
awesome, Patty.
Yeah, congratulations.
I'm
Yeah.
Love it.
excited.
That's awesome. We love that functional strength. And look, everybody's in here for different reasons. A lot of you are in here for quote unquote weight loss, although by now you will know that we do not want to lose weight. We want to burn fat, build muscle, and optimize our metabolisms. But I am telling you that just getting that kind of functionally strong, being able to do something like leg press your body weight is way more of a difference maker in your quality of life than what size pants you wear, what size dress you wear, or can you fit into the clothes you wore when you got married, any of that stuff, right? Just being strong and capable carries over into so many other areas of your life. And look, that is also the fast track to getting to the, hey, I want to be slim and I want to fit into the, I want to be a size, fill in the blank, whatever it is. Having more muscle, not less, is your hack to make that happen long-term sustainable. So yeah, right on, Patty. Absolutely love it. Absolutely
you.
love it.
And Kevin, I would agree with you. I think that, and I definitely did. I remember when I first started working with Monica, I definitely had a number in my head that I
Sure.
wanted to be, which I have not even been getting on the scale. I can still fit in my clothes and I'm not getting on the scale. But I also think that number that I've been down to before is not sustainable at 61. It's
Right.
not.
Yeah.
And so I think I had to get over that in my head. Like you have this, I think especially women maybe are victim to this, that we have a vision of what we looked like when we were in our 20s or 30s or before kids or whatever. And that's just not normal, healthy aging. It's not, and I think I'm much better. And I don't mean it's like I'm giving up. I think I'm trading it in for something better.
Boom.
Absolutely.
Well said. Yes.
Yes.
Very well said. Yes, you are trading it in for something better. One of I mean, look, this is kind of behind the curtains, but I know as coaches, I don't want to say we don't care about the number that you have in your head because you care, we care. But just know that we are way more interested in exactly what you are saying. Hey, I will trade this number, this basically arbitrary number for all intents and purposes that I have for being healthy, for feeling good, for being more active, for having more energy, for being more functional and strong and fit and capable. So yeah, good for you. I absolutely love it.
Thank you. I think that number's a false construct. I really do.
100% is. Yeah.
And we're
Absolutely.
sold it. I think women are sold.
Women's, especially
We are
guys, a
sold
little
that
bit, but
information.
more so the ladies. Yes. And so here's the deal. So ladies typically have the number. Guys kind of, dude, I want to look jacked, or I'm gonna lose the dad bod, or this beer gut's got to go. That's what I hear from guys. Ladies, it's almost always a number when they first come in. It's this number. Well, I want to weigh this, and I'm like, okay, fine. But, that's great to have a goal. Let's work towards that. Here's how we're going to get there. Some good news and bad news with that, depending on how far away that number is from what the scale says today. That in our program, that might take a really, really long time. But one of the things I absolutely love is that realization that comes along the journey, right? So maybe this lady has a number in her mind. We'll just stay on the ladies for a minute because it's more, you're right. I think it is more common with women. And a few months in, they're like, oh, well, maybe that number's not as important to me. And they start to drop, like you said, that false construct and start chasing something else. And that's really what's going to make this more lifelong sustainable than just this maniacal drive towards a number on the scale. So yeah, well
And
done.
society has kind of trained women that to let that number on the scale base your day. Okay, I hit that number on the scale, it's going to be a good day. If that number on the scale is not what I want it to read, then everything's going to be wrong that day. And that's totally not the way to
That's
live.
BS. Yeah.
Don't let that just one thing,
Yeah.
dictate how your day is going to be or how your week is going to be, how your year is going to be. And I tell my clients that the number on the scale is a liar because it doesn't tell you anything about how much muscle mass you've built, how much better your endurance is, how much better you feel, how much better sleep you have, how much better your nutrition is, and other health markers that mean way,
Sure.
way more than the number on that scale.
Yeah, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And I say it all the time. If I look, no matter what your body size is, if I could snatch 5 pounds of fat away from you and put 5 pounds of muscle on you, you would look dramatically, dramatically crazy different, and you would feel dramatically different as well. That is a huge shift in body composition, even on a larger body. Um, so just kind of, and of course, if I did that, the idea being here, of course, the scale hasn't moved. The weight on the scale is the exact same thing, but the body composition, the health markers, the everything that goes along with that are dramatically different. So that's our goal, really, is not so much to lose 5 pounds of fat and gain 5 pounds of muscle, but to burn fat, build muscle, boost that metabolism, be able to eat in a way that we enjoy and can actually do for the rest of our lives, as opposed to just these, crazy calorie restriction, restriction, restriction. And of course, the mentality that goes with constantly gritting your teeth and white knuckling your way through yet another diet, that kind of thing. So good. Yeah. Lots of good stuff here today, guys. All right. I just want to do a quick check, and this is for also people watching this on replay. I want to just make sure everybody knows where they are. I think, who was it? Bob said I'm in a cut right now, maybe, but everybody should be, because really we're in one of three places nutritionally. We're either in a strategic calorie deficit, a fat loss phase, we are in maintenance, or we are in a I was going to call it a bulk, but with the ladies, we don't call it a bulk. We are in a strategic slight calorie surplus. So um, we are reverse dieting, perhaps something like that. So does everybody know where you are? Do you know? Do you have a plan and you're strategic? Everybody, I see some heads nodding. Good. Anybody that doesn't, make sure you reach out. Kim doesn't have that information yet, so she doesn't know. But yes, we will get
I'm a
you.
mess.
We're going to get you unmessy here quick here. We'll get you up to speed. But yeah, because in that first stage, everybody's going to calculate out, and they're going to calculate what their current maintenance calories are. They're going to calculate out what their optimal maintenance calories should be, and then they're going to look at the difference between those two, and then they're going to decide a course of action. So that's what we're talking about here when I say what phase you're in. But really important that we know. And really, look, I've been doing this for over a decade now, and I'm always in one of those three phases. Now, the good part is I'm less doing this. I spent a lot of time doing that, and I'm more this. I'm in maintenance most of the time, and every once in a while, I'm like, I'd like to get a little bigger and stronger. So calorie surplus, start eating a little bit more, change up my programming a little man, or like, hey, I'd like to lean out a little bit. I'd like my body fat to come down a little bit. Okay, let me cut some calories. But for the most part, that is just maintenance for me. We've also talked about, for especially those of us here in the US, we have our holidays season starts now and goes to like the first week of January with Thanksgiving, we have, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. And it's a tough time for those of us that are nutrition coaches and personal trainers because ain't nobody wants to talk about, dieting or eating clean during that holiday because everybody's got in their mind, oh, well, I'll start in January 1st. Now, present company accepted, right? You guys are the exception to that rule, but there is a lot of that. So that being said, Monica and I, we like to, with you guys as well as our one-on-one clients, we like to pull people out of anybody that's in, say, in a cut phase or in a calorie deficit phase, a strategic fat loss phase before the holidays. It's just not a good time to be because restriction plus lots and lots of good food doesn't really mix very well. Doesn't seem to make as much sense. It is a great time for those of you that want to be in a small calorie surplus to eat, reverse diet back out, get some extra calories in there. You have a little more food freedom. Let's take that extra food and hit the gym and get a little bit stronger. So some things to think about there. And then, of course, if you wanted to jump into a strategic fat loss phase, you can do that with the whole rest of the planet on the beginning of January, right? Because a lot of, obviously, I think, I can't remember, 60% of at least Americans, I think it is, will have a weight loss resolution. And sadly, 90% of them, it won't last more than 30 days, but that is what it is. All right. So does anybody feel stuck? Has got any questions about where you go next? Any questions on nutrition, workouts, exercises, mindset? Go ahead, Bob.
Well, as I said, I'm in the cut phase, and I have a scale that also measures body composition. So as I lose weight, and it's only a couple pounds, the percentage muscle goes down with the weight, and obviously then the percentage fat goes up to balance out. Is that normal? It to equal 100%. It goes down to equal 100%. Is that normal that the muscle will go down as I begin to lose weight?
Yes and no. It's really hard to be in a fat loss phase and lose zero muscle. It's really difficult. However, we should be burning more fat than we are muscle. And if not, we need to fine tune some things here. So let's talk about this. What were your maintenance calories before your cut?
2950.
Fantastic. I love it. That's a great place to cut from. What are they now?
2350.
Okay. All right. No, that's reasonable. That's a good aggressive cut, but not crazy. And how are your workouts going?
Religiously, at least four sessions lifting in the gym per week. If I'm not playing golf, walking the course, I'm doing 30 minutes elliptical on those days that I don't play golf.
An elliptical at a high intensity or a low intensity? Is that restorative or is that aerobics?
No, it's not aerobic. I get my heart rate gets up to 91 or 2. It's not crazy.
Okay.
So it's at a steady pace for 30 minutes.
Okay. So, and what was your body fat percentage? What's the change in body fat percentage from when you started? Now we're 2 pounds down. Is it like a 0.1%? I mean, did you go?
It goes between 32 and 34. It moves in that range every day. I get on a scale every morning.
Okay. And what is your scale?
Oh goodness gracious!
But it's not like, did you pay like $300 for it?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. So one thing we can say is it's probably wildly inaccurate on the 34%, but that's not the number we're concerned with. The number that it's probably pretty good at is each day, if we take that weekly average of my body fat, that we should be able to infer a trend. So yeah, we don't want to see your body fat percentage increase in a cut, because that's indicative, like you're saying, hey, okay, I think I'm losing some muscle. So we need to maybe do a little bit of a refeed. So maybe jump up a couple hundred calories. I'm assuming protein's nice and high. That's not a problem.
Protein's north of 200
I
every
thought
day.
so. That's right. Yeah. So that certainly that's not getting in our way. Yeah, but I would very carefully monitor that. What you want to look at also is, and it's kind of a pain in the butt if you don't have like an app or something that does this, but you want to look at because your weight any day and your body fat percentage on any given day doesn't tell us a whole lot, but that weekly average does. So if I take 7 morning weigh-ins and 7 morning body fat percentages and I average those, right, add them up, divide by 7, that number tracked week over week is going to be much, much more telling about what's actually happening. So I'd be curious if you just kind of go back. How long have you been in your cut?
I'm starting my second week.
Oh, just second week? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's reading. No difference in hydration, anything like that, because that can
No, not really. I mean,
things.
and it also measures my body water, the water in my body. So that's within 0.3 of a point each day. It stays fairly regular.
Fairly steady. Okay. Yeah. So Monica, do you have any other suggestions here?
Being
You
that
look
you're
like you're
so
thinking.
early in this cut, you've only been in it for this is just your second week. Sometimes, those scales aren't accurately 100% accurate all of the time. They are good for seeing trends.
Yeah,
I would
well,
like to, maybe it's not something that you need to weigh yourself every single day. Maybe you weigh yourself, pick 2 days during the week, like maybe Sunday and Thursday or something.
I'll jump in and say if you have a good relationship with the scale at this point, weighing every day is not a problem. If the scale's getting in your head, Monica's 100% spot on. So because if you're doing it every single day, you're going to get a weekly average number that I would like you to track over time. And if you only do that twice per week, it's still going to be accurate. It's not going to be as accurate. So again, that 100% depends on your relationship with the scale.
Yeah, the scale loads to an app on my phone. So I have the numbers historically since I got the scale a couple years ago. So I mean, I have the trends, and while I know it's not absolute, the numbers are not absolute. I'm looking for trends,
Right on.
and it's just a head scratcher that the muscle goes down as the scale goes down, while I'm maintaining my workouts to the level that I was before.
Yep. Okay.
It'll be
Good,
interesting to see, like in weeks 2, 3, 4, what if it continues. It may be that your body just preferentially uses muscle to begin with, but hopefully eventually it'll stop using so much muscle once it sees, oh, we need to keep this muscle because we still need to do these workouts every day, that you'll start losing more fat than muscle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, and Bob,
when you
what
started
workout
this
program
cut-
are you on? Sorry.
I'm sorry. Good say which.
Go ahead, Monica. Sorry, I was going to ask you what workout, but go ahead, Monica.
I was going to ask you, how has your hunger been since you started on this cut?
I'm not hungry at all. Not hungry at all. The only thing I've changed is because I have less calories. I'm eating my breakfast later in the morning. I'm usually working out fasted and then eating when I get home because I just have less calories to consume. So I'm doing it later in the day.
How long did you stay at the 2950 calories before you started a cut?
From whatever when did this collective start?
All right. Yeah.
It depends on when you started it.
Well, I was right at the beginning. I was the first week. So
he came in on that. He wasn't one of the pre folks.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was right. I think I missed the first meeting. So maybe 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
Okay. So you were at 2950 for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
What we should see when you're in a cut is when you take 500 or 600 calories away, that first week, you're hungrier between meals. You can really feel it.
I can't say I have. I'm really, I can't say that I've been hungry.
Okay. And Bob, what workout are you doing?
I have my own. I'm using a Strong app.
Okay.
So I have 5 different sets where it's chest and back one day, shoulders and arms, tries and chest.
Got it.
And I do legs, a different set of legs in every workout. So I do 2 exercises per day of legs within whatever my workout is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with Monica. Let's give this another week. Don't change anything. Before I wouldn't even go. I know I'd mentioned, hey, let's refeed a couple hundred calories. Let's just wait and see.
Yes,
Also,
don't do the refeed yet.
yeah, let's only a week. Let's wait and see. That is curious though that your app would say that you've lost muscle but not fat. Does that app also give you does it say you have X amount of muscle mass pounds, X amount of
Yeah.
fat pounds? Okay. And that muscle number is going
It's going down. It's going down.
and the fat number is either unchanged or going up or
It's unchanged or increasing slightly.
okay. Yeah.
The two of them, I think it changes because they got to equal 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So as
They
the
have to equal
muscle goes
100%.
down,
Yeah.
the fat goes up to the same as the
Yeah. There's a lot, obviously your body's made up of a lot more than just muscle and fat. So, that 100% number is a goofy number. It's not a real number. There's ligaments, there's organs, there's bones, there's a whole bunch of
they
whole bunch
do
of
count
other things.
bones too. They count bone
Yeah.
density in it.
Yeah. Muscular skeletal. All right. Yeah. So
All right.
we want to hear back next week. I'd be very curious. Let's just not change anything, but we want to see, because that's a sign of metabolic flexibility or adaptability, your ability to switch from basically being a glucose burner to a fat burner is what we want to see in that fat loss phase. So yeah,
Okay.
keep us posted there. All right. Thank you. That was a good one because that's a bit of a
Yeah, that is
stumper.
a good one.
We'll have to see what happens here.
Somebody else had their hand up. I can't remember who it was.
I don't either. Anybody else? Question? Feel stuff. Mike.
There he is.
Oh, hey, hi. Well, first of all, that was some impressive truth that Patty was dropping. So kudos to her on that. My question is I feel like my lower back is my Achilles heel, and it's not like I get like pain down the leg, like from nerve pinching, but it's just more that the muscles aren't used. I haven't used the muscles that way, and they get really sore. So when I was doing the Romanian deadlifts for the first time, it hobbled me up a little bit afterwards. But then the second week, I used a lower weight, good form, and then I was able to go from there. And then so I'm in phase 3 now, and I think the barbell hip thrusts, I think that's what maybe irritated a little bit, maybe, or one of the other workouts in that section. And so I'm kind of seized up a little bit this week. So my question is there a couple mobility stretches that I can add beforehand? I was looking through the different ones on the on-demand, and I don't know if I'd have time to do a full mobility exercise, but I didn't know if herding turtles or, eyes, Y's and whatever. I mean, if there was a couple that I could incorporate into my warm-up that might help that lower back area.
Yeah, so there's several, if you go to the mobility sessions, or is it mobility? No, I'm sorry, go back one. If you go to the workout collection, there's several really quick 10-minute workouts for backs. One of them I made, I'll find where it's at in just a moment. It's called Oh My Aching Back.
Oh my. Okay, I didn't see that.
The name of it.
You made it for me then.
Yeah. And I apologize. I should know exactly where this is at. It's not under limited.
I could see in categories, ankle, shoulder, hip, and then the full body. But that would be great. I think I would do that.
It is in extra credit workout sessions, because I also have, it's called Oh My Aching Back. And if you hit that, that red extra credit circle, do you know what I'm talking about?
I see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And then go in there and then scroll to the bottom and it says Oh My Aching Back.
Perfect.
So I have big time back problems. See, Monica, I just didn't bellyache to you about it, but here's the truth. I was in a sleigh riding accident at
age the truth, Patty.
30. Age 30, I was in a sleigh riding accident, and I have an old fracture of L1 and L2 and some even lower than that problem. So, and I remember the doctor saying, after you heal, I was 30, I was still pretty good, and said, in 15 years, you're going to have arthritis. And that boy was right, because that's kind of what I'll have in there. So what I do incorporate some of these aching back ones. And sometimes, Monica, after learning what you've done with the ball, I see like you have a couple videos on there that you did with the ball with maybe Jess is in it, I don't know. But so I add a couple of those on either before or after my workout. But I also do, Kevin, what you said never skip the pre-workout stuff.
Yeah.
I never ever skip that, even though, like, now it so well, right? It's that cow, that whatever.
Right.
But I never skip that because I'm just afraid I'm really gonna tweak my back. And it has given me a lot of fear of lifting things over my head. Like that, you can see, like, if you ever tune into me again, Monica, you'll see you can see I'm afraid of that because I'm afraid of hurting my back.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Patty, spot on that warm up. That specific warm up sequence that is in all of our programs is designed specifically to wake that spine up before we start putting any load on it. So that's why you're doing slow cat cows and bird dogs and the bird dog tucks, and then of course the world's greatest stretch with that. How aptly named is that, right? I love a little cat, child's pose after that. As well, but we really want to wake that spine up. So that's one thing, Mike. So obviously, if I'm in a hurry, I will take an exercise out, but I will not skimp on that warm up. Always, always, always. Also, I dropped a video that I did a million years ago on core strengthening exercises for back pain. So look, lower back pain, very, very common for all ages, but especially in our age demographic, right? And one of the best things we can do to get rid of and manage any kind of chronic back pain is to have a really strong core. And you can imagine, right? Your core. So when I say core, I mean from your chest, so think nipple line, to your hips, 360 degrees around, all the way into the spine. So that's going to include like all your when you do the Kegel, you're exercising, what is that?
That's pelvic floor.
Thank you. Pelvic floor. That's going to include your pelvic floor muscles and all those tiny little stabilizers around your spine. All of
Your
that
oblique.
all that deep musculature in there, and that's tough, right? That is that you're not going to get that by just doing a bunch of sit-ups. Not that there's anything wrong with a sit-up, but that's why when we do things like suitcase carries and we do deadlifts and we do planks and things like that, we want to be very mindful of that core. So I like to tell folks, when you are doing really any exercise, any movement, but especially those where we're going to have a potentially compromised spine, you want that core to be tight enough so that, just think if somebody's just going to come up and punch you in the stomach at any time, say during a barbell back squat, I should be able to come up and just smack you on the belly, and that core is just rock tight, because that's really what's protecting that spine there, is that core being really solid, strong, and contracted. So make sure that you guys are watching the form videos and become a student of form. And then the other thing I'll say is, Mike, you've already done this, but certainly something like an RDL, which is a Romanian deadlift, is a posterior chain exercise, meaning it's going to emphasize your hamstrings, your glutes, and that lower back. And we want to have a load that we can do that with perfect form and not make anything angry or tweaked or anything. And for some of you, maybe that's the empty barbell. For some of you, maybe that's even lighter than that, and it's some light dumbbells. The weight that you start with is not the important part, right? We want to make sure that we start with a weight that we can progress from, because we want that progressive overload. That's what's really sending the signal. So a couple of things there. I love, like you guys said, Monica's got the Oh My Aching Back, some good mobility stuff there. Stuart McGill, if you look him up, he is the world's leading expert on all things spinal back pain, especially in this reference of being functional and healthy and strong. Not so much, maybe he is in that world of, I just have a bad back and I need surgery. I think he's more in but he's actually got exercises named after him. He's
Yeah, he
so big.
does.
Yeah. So
So his I'll drop this in the notes, but it's backfitpro.com, I believe is his website here.
oh, is it? Okay. Yeah.
Is what well, I just Googled Stuart McGill.
Yeah.
That's
Is it
what pulled
the
up.
McGill curl up and yeah, I think there's
Yeah.
McGill airplane. He's got a number of different movements named for him. So he's quite quite the guy when it comes to thinking about back pain. Also, I think I gave my copy to my nephew. I don't think I have it here. Um, there is Built from Broken, B-U-I-B-U. Here, hang on one sec.
Hey, Monica, just to ask real quick, if I add that "Oh My Aching Back" to on my on demand, does that displace my
I got it. Oh,
a
No.
phase 3, or
So
can I do them simultaneously? Or
you could do it simultaneously.
okay,
So that one, so to find it, you go to on demand. And there's three sections in on demand. You have the resources collection, you have the workout collection, and then studio programs. So say that you're doing a studio program. Say you're doing Lean Body Blueprint Phase 2. We'll just throw one out there. That's a planned workout where you have a new workout pop up every 3 or 4 days a week for 4 to 6 weeks, right? So the workouts that are in workout collections are just single workouts. So they're
oh,
not a workout that's going to pop up on your
okay,
calendar
it doesn't schedule
every
or
day.
anything like
Yes.
that. Okay,
So to find the ones that Patty was talking about, you go to on demand and then go to workout collections. And in workout collections, you'll see mobility sessions, extra credit, cardio workouts, and then limited equipment workouts. So you would go to extra credit and then scroll all the way down to the bottom. There's foot strengthening workouts, there's some quick body weight workouts, and then there's core strengthening. And there's two workouts in there. One's called All My Aching Back, and then the other one is All My Aching Back version 2. They're both only 10 minutes. So
yep,
you would have to toggle and open that up, go to the extra credit, go to the core strengthening, and then open it up, and then just do the workout.
yeah,
And I see that you put a question over here if you can do multiple workouts and
that was
never
the
fit out.
question.
You
Yeah,
can. You can have more than one studio program going at one time. We obviously don't recommend it because it makes for a really hectic schedule and you'll probably be
right.
overtraining at that point. But yes, it is possible to have more than one studio program at a time
And I was thinking in the context of the "Oh My Aching
of the
Back,"
of the
but you've
extra credit
explained
one.
that. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
And did you have a question that you posted in the forum that you were thinking about? Because we have this Black Friday sale going on for all of
oh,
our workouts right now.
I do, but I don't want to take Kevin's thunder away. He
no,
was.
yeah. No, I have that. I'm glad you brought that up. I do want to address that, but I wanted to tell you a couple of good references. So this is called Built from Broken. The subtitle is A Science-Based Guide to Healing Painful Joints, Preventing Injuries, and Rebuilding Your Body. Really good stuff. The original book I was looking over at my bookshelf for is called Rebuilding Milo, M-I-L-O. Remember, Milo is the ancient Greek guy that put the calf on his shoulder, and every day he carried it until one day he was no longer carrying a calf. He was carrying a full-grown bull, and we use
Okay.
that to illustrate progressive overload. Both of these are really good references for. It's kind of like an owner's manual for your human body. Both of
Mhm.
them good books to have. Um, yeah, so certainly check those out. And then, yes, so we had the question also about the Fit Foundations program for your wife. And yeah, so when you buy basically you guys could do Fit Foundations right now, right? It's a 10-week program. It's two phases. Both of those phases are in your studio programs. The difference is somebody who just buys just the program, the additional thing that they're going to get is I'm going to pop up every day in a new phase, and I'm going to say, hey, this is day one, and here's the intention. There'll be a little video that shows their exercises. I'm going to talk them through that. But really, it's in the app. It's the exact same workout that you guys could see. So all the video things and all that. It's just a little more of a curated experience. But yeah, if your wife wanted to take a look at that, we could certainly she would see basically all that you see, right? She would have access to the Oh My Aching Back and the extra credit and all that kind of stuff.
So when she would finish a workout, would she get the little
She
I
would,
lifted so many
yeah.
corgis
The
and
little
stuff?
animals, yeah,
It's
all of it,
it's
yeah.
motivating. I don't know why.
She would also have a community. So there's a community there. That's another community. It's not obviously this one, right? So, we have our private forum, but there's a general forum for clients that just buy workout programs. So it's not anywhere near as active as some of the other ones, but people do post they post their, mostly that's what's in there is people posting their animals. But yeah,
All right. Thank you.
sure. Yeah, and I see Monica, you've answered the question there.
Yeah,
So
I
Built
put both
for
of the
Broken and
titles
Rebuilding
for both
Milo.
those books in there, and I put it into Google, and they jump. Of course, Amazon pops up first saying you can buy it on Amazon for
Yes, you can.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Monica, I just saw this one. I hadn't saw before. I have not seen it before. Strong Back and Core. I was just
I have that one somewhere in this.
that also. Where did I find that just now? I think I went to programs and I went to view all. So that little, like, when you can see programs and it'll tell you which one is active. And then I clicked a little bit view all after that. I've not seen this one though before. I just
and you work out in
I
our
just
app.
missed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Strong
4
back and
weeks.
core. Yeah.
Yeah, strong back and core 4 weeks. That looks good.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a couple of different core foundation strengthening programs with the strong back and core. I just did, let's see, Monica, after I make something a studio program, do I have to do something so that all of these people can have access to it?
Yes,
Or is
you
it-
do.
Okay, I thought so.
Yep. In fact, I think unless you share it, I can't even see it. Let me see if I can go to.
So I was just mentioning it because I know we have some people in here who go to Gold's Gym. That's their gym. And I've got a one-on-one client who goes to a Gold's Gym and he's going into a strength phase and not Gold's Gym, sorry, Planet Fitness. And so Planet Fitness is kind of unique in that it doesn't allow you to do barbell deadlifts. It doesn't allow you to do barbell back squats. They don't have racks. It doesn't allow you to do a lot of these barbell movements. So I wrote a strength program specifically for that gym because I know that's a pretty popular gym, right? That's instead of squatting, you're going to do heavy leg presses, for example, instead of deadlifting, do some other type hinge movements. But that is now a studio program. So if we can figure out how to make that available so everybody can, if that applies to anybody here. I know it
That
does
would-
for some of you.
That would be great for the girl that's afraid to lift stuff over her head.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah,
did. I made it. Everybody should be able to see that
All
one
right, you
now.
did. It's all right. Monica, you
I
have to
just
tell me
did.
what you did because I know I've made studio programs before and I'm like, oh, and then I tell somebody, hey, there's a new studio program there. I don't see it. And they're like, oh, dang
You
it.
have to assign it, and you can assign it as a group. Since
You can assign it to
everybody,
groups? Okay.
yeah, you can assign it as a group. So I just typed in collective, and we have 29 clients running right now in collective. So I just added all 29
Okay. Good.
all at once. So everybody should be able to see that one now. And that's a 4-week program, 3 full body workouts per week. You do need a commercial gym, it says, but I've looked at this one some. I've not done this one myself. Maybe this one needs to be my next studio programs that I do myself.
And just to chime in, I have to admit, like our gym is actually off of our aquatic center, so there is no Smith machine or squat rack or even barbell. I mean, there's a bench, but there's no barbell. So and they're basically they're curl bars, basically is what they have for the barbells. So when I do a bench press, I have to actually sit on it and then pivot back with my back and then do my presses, which I know that's probably not good for my back either.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Well,
dumbbell, I guess.
Yeah. So, yep. No, you would probably be better off doing dumbbell bench press than
I would recommend
using
dumbbell
the easy bar. That's what that's called, that easy bar that's got the little kind of, but yeah, I would sub out dumbbells. If you have dumbbells and a bench, that would be a better way to do that.
Okay. Well, I got to work smart, not.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I tell everybody my main objective when I go to the gym every day is I want to be able to come back and do it again tomorrow. So be safe.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good
Monica,
objective.
I'm sorry, what is that one called that you just did? I don't see it. You said we all have access to it. What's that called?
Strong back and core.
Oh wait, the one that
No,
the
no.
Gold's or the
One that
Planet
Gold's
Fitness
one,
one
the Gold's
is
Gym one.
the Planet Fitness one. Didn't you just make that available for everybody, Monica?
Oh, no, I was looking at strong back and core.
Oh.
Oh, I
let
think
me
we
find
already
that
had
one. Hang
access
on.
to Strong Back and Core.
And
Yeah, they should have.
it's called Planet Fitness.
Oh, you know what? Maybe you don't see it because I didn't make it.
You might have to share it with, or just share it,
Do I
Kevin.
share the program or the studio or both? Well, we won't make you guys sit through while Monica and I figure this out.
Right, I
I've got to
don't
find
see
it.
I don't see it in studio programs.
So I didn't share it with you then.
You've not shared it.
Okay. How do I search on studio programs in the desktop version?
You just have to scroll down and find it. Like scroll
Okay.
down and find it.
Oh, here it
and
is. It's called Planet Fitness Strong, and I need to share settings. Oh, it's private to owner. That's why. Share
That's
with
why.
others. All right. It's called Planet Fitness Strong.
Okay, I see it now. All
Okay.
right.
Wow. Okay, that was quick. Oh yeah, because I can see as I scroll down, it's available for one
All
client.
right.
Some of these are
Everybody can
available
see it
for.
now.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, if you go to studio programs and just type in Planet Fitness, it'll come up.
I didn't even know you had this workout.
I just made it. Yeah, I've got a
Oh, okay.
client who's Planet Fitness and he's moving into the strength phase. So
Yeah. No, this would be a great workout because not everybody has access to, like you said, a
right,
lot
if you don't have a
of
squat rack,
equipment.
and if you don't have a place where you can deadlift.
Right.
And for those of you who don't know, it's not illegal, but it's forbidden. You're not allowed to do if you go into if you go into Planet Fitness, they don't want you doing deadlifts or barbell back squats.
I wonder if
Which
it's an
is kind of
insurance
cool.
thing. I don't know.
I think it's a philosophy thing that you remember they did
Oh,
those very actually amusing and entertaining advertisements a while back with the lunk alarm. You guys, anybody know what I'm talking about? The lunk alarm? The lunk alarm went off whenever some big giant bro was grunting or some lady in skimpy outfit was doing something incredibly strong. But I don't know. But if you are interested, I'm sure if you go to Google and type Planet Fitness lunk alarm advertisements, those old ads will come up. They were quite interesting. Um,
So
they
you
were kind
don't
of
have any
funny.
racks or anything like
No,
that?
no.
Wow.
Most of them will have like a one Smith machine is pretty common, but no racks. And personally, I would rather you do a different squat variation than squat in a Smith machine. That's my own personal opinion. That prescribed bar path may or may not be ideal for your squatting mechanics. Not to mention that we're taking away every last bit of core stabilization, etc., out of that very functional movement. Same thing with, I don't like it for deadlifts either, but yeah, they don't have squat racks. That's just, they decided
Huh.
not to.
I never
Yeah.
knew that. Interesting.
All right. Anything else here? We're coming up on the hour. If not, I'll finish with this. We are going to open the collective for new members. So in here, basically what we did is like 6 months ago, we got, I don't know how many of you, but probably a dozen or so of you that either here or watching in the future that were our guinea pigs. So we started this thing there, and then most of you came in when we opened up, I don't know, a few months back. But we are going to have another open registration, of course, in New Year's, right? Because if you're in this business, that's when you have open enrollment for things. So we are going to open up enrollment. We'll probably have like a week long or maybe a 10-day long drive. We expect to get a bunch of people in because it'll be the New Year's. But here's what we would love if anybody's willing. And of course, those of you listening on to this in the future on the replay, we'd love to have some testimonials from you folks. So if anybody would be comfortable, we would love a written, just say, hey, just write, I really love this program and here's why, or something like that. What we'd really like is for you to grab your phone and just say, hey, I really love the collective. The people are great. The community's fun. I learn a lot and I'm getting stronger, whatever, right? Whatever is appropriate for you, whatever you're comfortable with. But we would love to have some actual testimonials from this group now that's been running long enough. If you're comfortable doing that, that would mean the world to us. So we've got plenty of time because, like I said, we're going to put all this together, and there'll be a big push late December, early January for folks coming in. But that'll be our next big batch of newbies. And just to kind of keep you guys ahead of the game strategically, what we're thinking is we will probably, once we have a bunch of new people in, we'll keep this time. We may have a second, we almost certainly will have a second time that is specific for new people, right? So this will be, and maybe for the first 3 or 4 weeks, hey, join us on Wednesdays at this time or whatever, for onboarding, just for these one-on-one people. But it's also, the reason I bring that up is as new people are coming in, and I know some of you are already in stage 2. We got a couple of you in stage 3. I think that's freaking fabulous. And I think I said last week, those of you that moved to stage 4, we expect you to start to take on more of a leadership role and to really embrace becoming a healthy aging ambassador, maybe even mentorship. But regardless of where you are in your journey, you're going to be ahead of a bunch of new people coming in who may be insecure, they may be nervous, they'll probably be excited, they're probably going to be overwhelmed, right? We're doing our best to make this not overwhelming. But think when you first started, especially those of you that weren't our customers before. So if you just came in new, you're like, holy crap, okay, wait, there's an app, and how do I find things in the app? And oh, wait, there's this whole other website where there's courses, and what does that even mean? And poor Karen still hasn't got her sorted on that yet. But remember back how that was, right? So anything you guys can do in that community, in the forum, to help these people feel comfortable, feel welcome, share your knowledge when somebody says, oh, how do I do this? You don't need to wait for me or Monica or Jess or anybody else to hop in there. You guys now are, compared to them, you're pros, right? You are subject matter experts. So keep that in mind. We still, like I said, we got a couple months before we need to worry about that, but we do expect to have a pretty big influx of people, and hopefully by then we'll have, we'll be ready. So there you go. All right, so still a newbie, don't know what stage I'm in. So all right, that's all right. We're all moving in the same direction here, getting healthy. All right. Anything else before we finish up here today? All right, folks. Thanks so much for your time. You guys keep kicking ass, and
Thank you.
I will see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye,
Thanks.
guys.
Kevin, thanks, Monica.
Thank you.